Good to have you on my show.
I'm excited actually.
The league matches have already started, and we've seen the week one matches being played.
Yeah.
So, what do you have to say? Like any surprises?
I know there are a lot of banterers that say that. In fact, there was somebody who I noticed on one of the football platforms just the day before the Arsenal match, bantering that an upset might happen in the Arsenal Brentford match and Arsenal might actually win. But the reality is that was a surprise. It's true that Arsenal's preseason wasn't exactly very convincing, but losing to a newly
Yeah.
promoted team for an Arsenal that has at least basic European hopes, I didn't even see that coming. Again, Aubameyang, Lacazette, they weren't around, but still, you
Yeah.
think that they will muster enough to at least to draw the match. So that was a big surprise. The Manchester City thing, I wasn't so surprised because, first of all, I think like 4 matches Manchester City under Guardiola has that him and his team have gone to Tottenham to play. They've lost, so that wasn't really a surprise at all. I knew that possibly there could be the kind of headlines where you will see that Tottenham will win and then it will look like, without Kane we can do stuff. It's not the first match of the season, though. It doesn't mean that Tottenham are suddenly world beaters. But that was a little bit of a surprise.
Talking about Pep Guardiola losing his first match, do you think like last season he came from behind to win the trophy? Do you see that happening this season?
Oh, to be fair, you should never write out Pep. So there are many people who, out of beef, say he's a Bidiola, and he buys success. But the truth is, by and large, he knows what he's doing. He oftentimes knows how to navigate some of these things. You are right. I remember beginning of last season where it seemed like, there was even talk about whether he was going to leave, and all of that. But again, because he has owners who believe in him, and to be fair, very good managers are very hard to come by. They will support him. So the Kane thing might still happen, most likely will still happen, and they might still buy. They might just get a Mauro Icardi from PSG or someone, or just get Lautaro Martinez, just bolster their attack, So they really have a good coach, a very good one at that, who is still able to motivate, who still has ideas. They still have a very, very good squad. He will do well. I won't be surprised if they retain their title. And then the January window is still there. So yeah.
Okay. So from what you saw in the first week, which team do you think it's like a possible threat?
Well, I'm a United fan. I think that the team United has now is on the cusp of greatness. That team with the bench, whether Ole will be able to deliver that greatness is what we do not know. And to be fair, we had some very good runs last season, and some very, very eye-catching results. And I think Chelsea, with the inclusion of Romelu Lukaku, who is back, they are definitely going to be there or thereabouts. To be fair, they have a very, very good squad. And Chelsea players are almost always motivated. Tuchel has, he's done well. Never write off Klopp. He is a very, very good coach. There was a time they could not buy a win, especially at home. Then, despite all that, they ended up third. That was brilliant. So Liverpool, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, they will definitely be in the mix.
And talking about Liverpool, I think Liverpool, they're actually from what they did last season, losing consecutive home matches and coming to finish third. But now I'm scared of what happened last season happening again. seeing that the players, most of them, their age, they're actually not on the young side. So I think that's a problem. And then injury again, seeing that he's not buying any players. But for me, if you ask me, I think the team to actually scared of is Chelsea, because when I see that squad and I see Tuchel, like I'm just scared of the team. Like nobody knows what they are going to. Yeah,
I agree. I think that Tuchel has been very. Look, he's to be fair, he's always been a good coach, and it's funny that we are talking about two German coaches, one that succeeded the other at Dortmund. Yeah, so I mean that's one of the best that Germany has got to offer at the moment. Again, I always believe in managers. Managers can help a team optimize their performances and play out of their skins. But I have no worries regarding Liverpool because, by and large, lightning hardly strikes the same place twice. And beyond that, yes, Firmino's, Mane, and Salah are not spring chickens anymore, but there's still Jota.
Yeah,
who's there? He's not young, and the boy is, let's even. I mean, he showed huge promise last season, and I think that he can only get better. So, again, never underestimate a very good coach. A very good coach, whether it's age or whatever, will still find a way to do great things, to deliver on titles. I still think Liverpool will still be a team to beat.
Okay, so talking about your team, Manchester United, and that was actually a fantastic opener, 5-1. A hat-trick from Bruno and 4 assists from the senior man, Pogba. So do you think this is actually, we are going to see more of this? Only people always say it doesn't have a pattern.
Again, like I said, this team is on the cusp of great things. And what Ole brings to the match and has been able to do with our team is that he's been able to keep the dressing room very quiet, essentially united. You're not hearing stuff. And then he's been able to allow a lot of people to come into their own. And to be fair, some purchases were made last season that were still come out well. The Telles, the Ahmad boy. Good stuff might still happen. And again, let's not look. The board has been very good to him because he generally only hasn't rocked the boat. So by and large, most likely there might be a cup in the mix. Now, challenging for the title means that you must make all these things come together and you must make the team win even when it is very, very... So, again, I'm not about flashy results. When you get a flashy result like a 5-1, it's good. It's But I'm more about when you play your top 6 people. When, for example, officiating goes against you, you are down to 10 men. How do you handle those? And sometimes Ole just doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence when things get sticky like that. And that's why you must have winners with a winning mentality in the squad. Look, United, I will not be surprised if we win the title, even though I feel that with the 4 contenders, Ole is kind of when you talk about the qualities of a manager, he seems to come up at the rear. I mean, the other 3, they've won titles, they've won Champions Leagues. When the chips are down, the top managers will show themselves as top managers. So that's where. But if it is squad, we do have a squad. I mean, a backline of Maguire and Varane that's as solid as they get. The problem, of course, is what happens if there's injury to any one of them. We're back to the Lindelof or the Bailey options.
Okay. So I know this is actually going to be quite difficult, but can you give a prediction? The teams you see finishing top 4 and the 3 to be relegated this season. I want you to look into the future and predict.
Look, for relegation, right? The thing is, there's almost always one team that has been around and that stuff falls apart for. Usually towards the middle of the season, a team that normally you would expect to do well will then stop doing well and then just stop dropping points like that. I think I remember Norwich some few seasons back and all of that. Even though they had that flashy result where they beat Man City, a Guardiola-led Man City. Yeah, where Timo Pukki, you know. So there's usually one like that. So that I cannot, I mean, I really can't predict. I know that people were complaining that Burnley didn't strengthen, but Dyche always has a way of, you know, as you know, as they say, rock one, you know, just make sure that, you know, certain games are won or drawn and then they stay in. I suspect one of the promoted boys is going to bite the dust. And despite the fact that Brentford had a very good game, I'm not so sure whether they will stay up. You know, so so really one of the newly promoted sides is going to get relegated. I mean, that's for sure. And I kind of suspect Brentford because they've not been in the very top flight for 70 plus years or thereabouts. Because even the old ones are returning. Experience does help you to navigate, you know.
But their performance against Arsenal was actually okay.
Like I said, Norwich beat Man City, please. So calm down. It's not about all that there's good. No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's not. You see those guys come beginning of season, bra. It will be just one match. Yeah, might be just one match like against a Crystal Palace. They will just calm down. They will tell them, Ace, calm down. You know, I'm a bit scared for Crystal Palace and how much a Vieira is you know, ready to take, because usually that's how these things happen. That's why I'm saying that usually one of the old boys, stuff starts happening, usually with a new management, and then they're not getting results, and then towards December, who knows, if Vieira can get sacked. So I'm a bit scared for Crystal Palace, but really it's just day one. So they might prove me wrong and all that. For the top four, of course, you know, well, I can't see. I mean, I know the limitations of my club, but I'm hoping that we can deliver on our 21st title. Yeah, laugh all you can, but yeah, Chelsea will really do well. They have the mentality, they have the whatever, but well, things happen. For number two, I think between Chelsea and Man City, and then third, Liverpool, you know. Again, I will not be surprised if Liverpool pull a rabbit out of the hat. I will not be. But then, you know, seasons can be long. And to be fair, you can go on runs. Look, it is even possible that Leicester does the unthinkable. But you see, ultimately, you want to look at benches. Benches are important. Very important. If your bench is good, you will do well. Like you said, at a time last season, when anybody was beating anybody, Liverpool got beaten 7-2 or thereabouts by Aston Villa. Yeah. So anything really, 38 games, you cannot, you can't. It's usually towards the end, towards December that, yes, and the team just picks up, quickly puts its house in order, and then goes on a run that if it extends to February, then you begin to know, this one's going to win. So it's usually towards December that you begin to have an idea. But right now, for me, United, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, but it can change.
I was about to say Leicester and Brendan Rodgers, for 2 seasons now, they were almost in the top 4 and then they just miss out. So do you think he might get it right this time around?
Look, I'm a Brendan Rodgers fan. I think the man is phenomenal. And And I think that the Leicester management, they are serious minded, because I mean, think about it. Brendan was in the Scottish league. Then, yes, he was doing well with Celtic, right? But that's not usually the place you go to shop, for Premiership managers in that sense, especially if you want to compete. But the idea that they even thought about him means that they were looking for a manager who will deliver results. And you can see in his second season, he gets the FA Cup at the expense of the same dreaded Tuchel, right? And Chelsea. So he's a great manager. I mean, let's not lie to ourselves.
And
if he
community
you see that. You get
at the expense of the almighty Guardiola.
Man City. I mean, look, as far as I'm concerned, right, if that guy was the United manager with a very serious-minded, with the kind of support that Ole enjoys, I would have I would just know that United will win. But I have not seen very serious reinforcements for them, so that is why I'm not sure they will still do the top four. They've no serious reinforcements at all. I really don't know. I think they might still, maybe win a cup, a Carling, perhaps. But top four, I doubt it.
Okay. So you think Brentford, of all the newly promoted teams, looks more likely to be relegated?
Look, you really need some Premiership experience. You really do.
Okay.
See, think about it. All the guys who they promote, and possibly have been in thereabouts. Yes. They gather some experience, that then allows them to then stabilize. Of course, it does depend on the kind of managers they have, but by and large. But Brentford, they've not had Premiership experience for a long time. So usually the Championship people, they come to the Premiership, they do gra, for some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by and large, the Premiership says is a job. You need to come back later and all that. So I think Brentford might still struggle, Sha. So like I said, experience as well as the type of manager. I mean, look at Leeds. Leeds has the great Bielsa. So I'm not surprised they did as well as they have done, and I think they will still do well.
But for me, I think Norwich. I don't know. Well, let's see.
Norwich already has Premiership experience. They've been in here, out, in here, out. So the fact that they are back means that, one, their management will be a bit much more sensible and will want to not leave the Premiership. So if you go to the Championship and just bounce back, it's always a very good experience that often shapes, how those people. More likely, Norwich would survive. That's why I think, Sha. I think they will survive.
Watford, I'm still looking at them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, look, I really don't know about Watford. I don't know how they're going to perform on the long run. Like I said, usually relegation battles, one of the promoted sides, then one of the established sides that will have a crisis that often escalates, if stuff, usually it's usually like that. The third can be anybody's guess.
Well, like you said, it's just week 1, so we still have like 37 more matches to go.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's see how it goes. Yes, and your dream of Man U carrying the league this season, I just don't want to say anything about it.
Oh no, but it's not really a dream. It's almost scientific. So we went from think about it. Like I said, it's almost scientific. We went from third 2 seasons, then we came second. I mean, let's not lie to ourselves. If that has happened, and then the squad has not been depleted, more quality hands are really actually coming in. So it makes sense. Whether it's so it's not about maybe the manager not having a pattern. He no get pattern. He went from third, did second, and then more reinforcements. Cavani is still coming back. Rashford is still coming back. Martial hasn't been sold. And then Jadon Sancho has been brought in. An experienced Varane who has actually won things has been brought in. To me, it's not a dream. To be fair, let's not lie to ourselves. That team can win the Premiership. There's no, you can say anything about maybe quality of manager or stuff, but that team can win it.
So you think Varane and Sancho are actually great buys?
Varane is definitely a great buy, and at the amount he was bought, great buy. He's a winner at every level. Champions League, World Cup. I mean, the boy is good, Yes, he might have had some fairly indifferent seasons for Madrid, but again, to win, you need winners in your team, and Varane is good. Sancho has left his comfort zone and gone to another person's league, to another nation's league, and had show himself good. And to be fair, he was at Man City. If he wasn't good at all, he will not have been at Man City. Guy takes his chance, goes to Dortmund, does great things. Why are people, and for God's sake, he's coming from the same team that a Haaland that everybody is coveting also isn't. So why not? Yes, the price seems a bit high, but it's lower than the valuation last season. And the boy is still young. If you are young, more often than not, and you're doing great things, you will be priced high. It's just the market, really. And of course, it's United, But I have very high hopes for Sancho. Very high hopes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lady Var. I appreciate it. Thank you.